In this video we will analyze the case of one of my students in a coaching program of how he got an instant date with a girl he approached on the street. If you're new here, since 2018 about over 1200 men sleeping with new girls approached in the daytime. I started teaching it only in Italy in 2018 and then also internationally from 2022. So this is one of my Italian students and this is a video testimonial from my Italian channel, so that's why the original audio is in Italian, so I will translate it from Italian to English. So let's start from the starting point of this student, which he was also one of the first students in the Italian language back in 2018, and in 2018 he was 23 or 22 years old or something like this, virgin, shy, introvert, call it as you want, but especially virgin. And back in 2018 it was a long journey, so I was in the beginning with students I was working 2 hours each time, only in person. Now we have a variety of coaching programs, also not in person, and but back in 2018 I was just making 2 hours each time in person, and this was like the second or the third session of 2 hours, and I was sending the student from different girls in daytime situations, so pretty much almost every girl in the street in daytime situations. Some of the girls also maybe in closed environments like shopping malls, shops, or like in this case he approached the girl that he went on a date with. He approached this girl on a shop in a shop, and now we will talk about it in a moment. And he was always making up excuses because, as I told you, he was pretty much a super beginner. He never approached a girl in a direct way, which is the best way to approach a girl if you want to have sex in a daytime situation, especially if you're a beginner. Now we will not go really long about this topic, maybe in other videos, but if you're approaching for example at the club, it's okay also to approach in an indirect way. So approaching a girl, asking for an information, for an opinion, or starting talking about something about the context, I don't know, so in an indirect way. But when you're approaching in a daytime situations, the best way is approaching in a direct way. So for example, I just saw you look cute, so that's why I came here to talk to you. This is not the opening line, this is just the concept behind it, and the opening line has to be longer, okay? But the concept behind it is to show your intent, show that you're interested in a girl, of course, in a non-needy way, in a calibrated way. So of course you don't have to say, I just saw you, you look beautiful, I want to marry you. Maybe it can be funny sometimes if you say it in the proper way, but no, this is not the moment to go in depth about this. So he was always making up excuses. This girl is going too fast, she's walking too fast, she's too old, she's not from my country, because this student is an Italian student and he wasn't speaking English back in 2018, and so I could not send him to girls from other countries. And at a certain moment, finally I saw an Italian girl, and so I sent him to this girl, so he couldn't make up any excuse this time. But this girl entered inside the shop. But this time I told him, no, this girl, you have to approach her, because it took so much time to find the right girl that you can approach, so this time we will not waste the opportunity. So go inside that fucking shop and make that approach, of course, with me behind, supporting him, not just sending him inside the shop alone. And at the end he was able to make this direct approach. She immediately responds nicely, she starts touching her hair, which is not actually an indicator of interest, but you may consider it as a positive thing. Don't think about these signals as an indicator of interest to decide if she's interested or not, if she wants to have sex with you or not, because it may be true, it may mean something if she's touching her hair, but there are other signals of interest that are much bigger, okay? So don't think about if she's touching her hair or not to decide if she's interested or not. And inwardly the student was thinking what's going on, because this situation was coming out of his sense of reality. If until today you believed that something was possible and something was not impossible, if something that is not possible for you happens, you will freak out. You start thinking, what the fuck is going on? At the end, they start talking just with usual questions. He was not really skilled with the conversation in that specific moment. So just start talking with usual questions. Also, when you're approaching girls in the daytime, and you're a beginner, you'll be surprised from the reactions of the girls, of course, if you're approaching it in the proper way, because this girl said that in a certain moment during the instant date when they were sitting for coffee, she said that, oh, I was really surprised because it never happened to me. Also, the student actually was thinking the same, that it never happened to him, but of course he didn't say this. But you will be surprised from the girls' reaction, because they will be, if you're approaching it in the proper way, they will react in a positive way, because for you it's something that it's out of the ordinary. You're showing courage, so you're making an extraordinary approach, because usually people are approaching at the club or online on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, on Instagram, online or through social circle situations. So approaching the daytime situation is more extraordinary for the girl and also for people in general. So you will encounter also in rejections sometimes, but if you are making a proper approach, you will also hear these words really often from women. I really appreciate the courage because it never happened to me. Okay, and actually this will start to fade away when you are getting more intermediate or advanced, because for you it will become really normal to approach women in daytime situations, and also you will transfer this sense of reality also to the girl that you are speaking with, so she will just feel it's a really normal thing, it's a super normal thing, and so she will not say, oh, it never happened to me, because even if it never happened to her, she will feel it as a really normal thing, part of her day-to-day life. So after speaking a little bit inside the store, they leave the store, and she asked for the direction for another store, because it was Christmas time or something like that, and so she was buying presents for relatives, and she suddenly invites him for having a walk with her towards the shop that she has to go in. And also the student, you cannot hear it, but I'm pretty much making the translation. He was really surprised that he went from this situation where he actually didn't even want to talk to this girl because he was scared. He went to this situation to having, now this is not already an instant date situation because they're just having a walk, but he went from this situation that he was scared of to now being with a girl in a walk. And then since I saw that the situation was going very well, I don't remember now the details because it was 2018, but when they were standing in the street, I went behind the girl, of course, a few feet away, making this hand gesture, like something like this. That was just to tell to the student without letting the girl hear me. Just invite her for a fucking coffee. This was just the hand gesture for drinking a coffee. And so the student made the invitation, not a really good invitation, but it doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter in this situation. Remember that if you're not making a proper invitation, you will lose 90% of the girls that you can go on a date with. Okay, there will be situations where women will be really attracted from you. So even if you're making a shit invitation, they will say yes anyway. But you're not seeing the 90% of the times that you're getting rejected, that you're losing the opportunity. Okay, so a proper invitation makes the difference between yes and no. Okay, so in this case, the situation was going really well, so even with a shit invitation, she said yes anyway. In the video, the student talked about also the fact that he was really unmotivated in that particular day, because it was like the third coaching session, and he was not practicing a lot in between of the sessions, which is really recommended. Actually, as I said, now I'm not making anymore the 2 hours coaching sessions in person. We have different kind of coaching programs that are also in person or online, but he was really unmotivated because he was not practicing in between the sessions, and he started thinking that I obtained this with a really small effort. What would happen if I start going out more frequently? And this is something that I'm talking about since forever. Of course, especially in the Italian videos now. I'm making these videos since 2022, also in the English language, before it was only in the Italian language. And I always say that men are actually capable of approaching women successfully, just they don't know it. They don't know that they are successful, that they don't know that they are capable, because they never practice, they never try, they never go out, and especially they never try with the proper method. They approach without a method, and of course they get rejected if you don't have a method. Would you like to have sex regularly with new girls approached during the day? If so, click the link in the description below. If you have any questions, text one of our expert consultants for free using the contact information below in the description.